Welcome everybody to Legendary Tales. We're on episode 35 or 36 of Soulforged, apparently. I hope everyone's having a great week. If someone has a recap, we could do that, please and thank you. You don't have a recap? Oh, in the thing? Oh. Cousin. She's a cousin. Zoya. All right. Yeah. So you guys have set up camp, essentially in this grove that, just not far from the grove in the Walking Willows, to basically where Sabbath destroyed the infestation with her bonfire, basically running around torching all the mushrooms and all the infected trees and things like that. The little spooters helping you guys, remove all of that. Yeah, and you guys take your. Did everyone actually take a long rest? Because all y'all are messed up right now when I saw your hit points. So why don't you go? Why doesn't everyone take a long rest? First of all, everyone take a long rest. And yeah, you guys awaken the next morning to the Walking Willows have not moved. They are just hanging out. I like how Vidar recovered no hit points because he was the only one that didn't take damage, but that's not for lack of trying. Let's remember that. Not for lack of trying on my part. That's fair, actually. Yeah. And I need everyone to make a perception check, please. You're muted, Bisbee. I don't know if you just look like you said something. Oh, Day starting off strong. Oh, even better. Even stronger. Harder, better, faster, stronger. Loershik and Vidar, early in the morning. Vidar and Technician, you guys have been watching this sort of, I don't know, what's a group of spiders called? I don't know what friends, a friend of spiders. A giant, basically a small swarm. I think it's a spider swarm. Swarm of it's actually called a cloister. Oh, okay, sure. A fairly large cloister of little tiny spiders run over all the infested stuff and cut all the stuff out. If there's dirt, they dig it up and then they put it in a big pile. And Mira herself comes down and burns it. And the Walking Willows, as soon as it hits dark and your guys' fire sort of peters out, Mira is sort of, you hear a strange like vibration, or you feel a sort of like the ground vibrate gently as she sort of watches over you guys. And you're realizing that she is, especially Vidar, you're realizing that she's actually communicating with the walking willows. She's using speak to plants and animals to sort of mark you guys as friends, in the fact that they sort of are a symbiote in a way. And it's sort of interesting to see this symbiosis of perception as enemy and friend. And you awaken the next morning to not a bright sunny sky or a sun that's coming over the hills. You see stars, cloudless and infinite above you, Vidar and Loershik. Sabas, you're probably like seeing all the spiders and stuff. What's up? Oh, for real? Oh my gosh, I just why is it doing that?
Because we would not be back if we did not have audio.
Yeah. Oh, no, that's not it. That's not it. Oh, well, the recap was they came to the Weeping Willows. They met Mira, who is the cousin of Zoya. And I can't believe I've been talking for that long and not realized it. Um, But they met Zoya, and the Weeping Willows had an infestation that they ended up getting rid of in a bunch of fungal sort of Weeping Willow dryads and things like that being pulled off from the hive mind and attacking everyone. But they fixed it, and they sort of sit through the whole night, but they awaken to no sun and infinite stars. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the picture of space from a space telescope, and it's just like so many stars you can't count them and stuff like that. That's what you see. What are you doing?
Looking at
We're still in
spiders.
the forest.
You are still in the forest, but
Right.
this forest doesn't have leaves.
But beyond the trees, we see.
Yeah, the
stars.
trees have leaves, but they're very thin and wispy, and you can see behind them in a not normal looking sky.
Does it look similar to the sky or the water when we met Skink?
No, the one that you had like a few little like shining stars and stuff. This is like the entirety of the heavens shown before you.
Is it appropriately timed that this would be
No.
nighttime still? This is like noon and it's for some reason starry yet.
No, this is about 8 a.m. local time.
The sky should know better by now.
Yeah.
Is Mira nearby?
Yes, she is.
Mira, I point up to the stars. Is it normally daytime this early? Or is it
And
like this?
you see her sort of like, she has like a demeanor, even though she has a bunch of eyes on her forehead. She looks up and then she looks down at you and she says, "No, it does not normally look like this.
Have you ever seen this before?
No."
Are the stars moving or anything? Or is it just like still?
There is a meteor shower, actually. Except instead of being bright white, they are purple when they're burning up.
We
Hey,
know very
Vidar,
little
do you have
of-
anything in your memory banks about the temper coming to Earth?
Go and make a history check, Vidar, please. You remember something from your creation and the little while you were awake for that. That shortly before Forald and all of his sort of brothers and sisters were murdered, that this was something described in history books. And it's called the Sleepless Night.
I vaguely remember hearing of things about the sleepless night, which was described similar to what we're seeing now. I would not be able to say if they're related, but that would be the closest association I could make.
And also, there's another association that you might be able to make if this was a very short time before Mumbal killed Farald.
This was around the time that, just before or after, around the time I was created, which would also align with the timeline for when Gerald was killed.
So Moonball is up to no good.
Possibly, or it may just be a coincidence.
I want to pull out the compass and see where it's pointing to currently.
As soon as you pull out the compass and you're looking into it, you see a nebulous projection above it. And the sort of green and purple swirling nebula, a shadow appears in it. And you see a dark void of a hand come out from the nebula, pull out a little green sphere of energy, put it right above its hand, a blue sphere of energy, and then it crushes them together, and the silhouette of a person appears, and then the vision disappears from the top of the compass.
Did anyone else see that just now?
Was anyone else watching?
I imagine I was just talking to Lorishik, so maybe I was looking that way.
Yeah, you saw it.
I rolled low, so I imagine I'm still looking for my grenades.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Do you recognize that silhouette at all? Do I recognize the silhouette at all?
No, not at all.
I feel like Ball just created a new Soulforged. Is the compass like spinning endlessly right now or anything?
It is actually just faster than it's ever spun before.
I think we need to go either back to the forge or we need to go back to the warbands immediately.
Were we not going to try and find Soulforged to the west? East.
I hold the compass out so technician can see it. Apparently something just happened with the compass and it showed me a nebula that I'd only assume just combined two types of energy and created a Soulforged.
And as we've been told in the past, the only life and arcane deity would be Void and Moonball.
So the compass is warning us that the Void Soulforged is near or on the move, or interfering, or what does the compass mean?
Well, before the compass was pointing us to the nearest Soulforged, but now it showed us the creation, presumably the creation of one that only Moonball could make. So
What exactly did it show you?
a shadow of a hand reached out from a nebula and grabbed a blue sphere of energy and a green sphere of energy, smashed them together. And the result was this a silhouette of human figure. And then it disappeared. Now my compass is just spinning.
So a hand crushed things together. That could also be destruction.
Well, it combined two things and something new appeared. So destroying one thing to make another, perhaps. But Moonball,
Perhaps.
as Jadar had said, is the only person who has both of these energies.
Regardless, we do not have a heading. The compass is not giving us a new heading.
As soon as you ask that question, it stops spinning and then goes, whoop. Where are you right now? To a little bit southeast of where you guys currently are. Like, if you just take east and just barely move it south.
Interesting. Compass stopped, but it's going a different direction. Instead of going west this time, it wants us to go southeast.
Well, then we should probably go southeast.
Are we concerned at all that Moomball might be aware? Perhaps he was scrying on us, and this is just a trick to move us into a trap.
Everything is almost always a trap. That's why I carry those grenades, which I can't find. They're very dangerous. We should find them.
I'll help you. I'll help you find them, Technician. But let's figure out what we're doing next. Should we perhaps inform the warbands that this happened? I don't think I can give a clearer depiction of the compass with 25 words, honestly.
Have I noticed that there's a meteor shower going on yet? Because nobody's said anything to Rep. Okay.
Yes. By the way,
Rep, there's a meteor shower going on.
Oh my! Oh, I did not notice before. Thank you.
By the way,
Sabas, you can also look up too. There's a meteor shower.
By the way, Sabas, the second they start talking about the compass and stuff, and it points directly to the southeast, you have a set of world maps that are like just laid out exactly like what I've made, and it's a line directly pointing to Karska, on the southeast of Siltheim, which is on the map that we're currently on. And you basically do a little bit of extrapolation, looking at the compass and like looking at your map, and it's like, this is where we are, that pointing right toward Karska.
Yeah, that's. I mean, if we have a compass pointing to a place, even though it seems to be doing strange things, maybe we should follow it anyways.
It does seem to be a solid lead. We should inform the warbands where we're going next, but other than that, that's our lead. Our job is to unite the Soulforged and to be wary of the one Soulforged that is aware that they are Soulforged, which would be Void Soulforged.
Could say Soulforged.
Also, the event happening in the sky, the meteor shower, this is most likely what precedes us being bombarded by the Eternal Vision, which will, of course, create more temper in the future, but not for hundreds of years. It seems their war may have stopped.
So we've been to Natode before, correct? We've never been further east than that.
We did meet a sea captain there. He might be able to take us through the waterways to Karska if we wanted to avoid the cities.
Perhaps we bring Mira back with us to the warbands and have them give us a fresh yeetstone to take ourselves to Natode, and then ask them. That will cut a few days of travel out, and we can more clearly tell what we saw on the compass. And if they don't see the meteor shower, which I assume that they do, we can explain that as well. But we did tell Mira that we would help her and her kin find a new home.
They would have to be relocated en masse. Physically relocated en masse. Or
Mira,
if
are
the
you able
warbands
to-
do have a way to yeetstone a bunch of things all at once, but it seemed to be a limited number of things that could be yeeted.
I think that we just bring Mira back for now and have them yeet her back on their own and figure out a solution for her and her kin.
Have Mira and Absalorn sorted out. Yeah, that's a good plan.
I believe we had predicted that Karska would have been our destination back when we were in Yunskiel as well. Perhaps that is definitely the right place to go. But should we also, if we are going to the war bands directly, we can speak with them. I should probably also check in with the Forge to make sure that none of the Soulforged are having issues.
I have business in the Forge already. I can check in with them. It may be prudent. With this happening, it may be prudent to move quickly. We might want to try and do both at once.
Do we have enough yeet
Do
stones?
I was about to ask the same thing, Vidar.
Okay.
We do not.
So what's the plan?
We can see if any of the leaders have a yeet stone that could be used multiple times. We can go back to the warbands and then go to the forge, and then if any of them do have one, and if they've been to Karska before, they might be able to take us directly to Karska.
Did the sending stone that I got from Vajim, Devin, was that one of those like fancy multi-use ones or whatever? Or was that just like the standard
It's
once
just
day
a standard one.
Yes, making multiple yeets might be the best if we are dealing with urgency. Otherwise, if we can wait 24 hours, I could send a message to Vajim and we just wait.
Well, it's not 24 hours. It's
3
technically
days.
daytime, so it'd be less than 24 hours. The yeet stones are 3 days. The sending is after some arbitrary number
It's
thing.
dawn. It's at dawn. Oh,
And technically, it hasn't dawned yet.
that I was about to say that. Now we get into the mechanics of what a sunrise is.
Infinite messaging. So perhaps
it's
we
out-
go
I-
take Mira back to what I don't remember the city's name in the warbands that they moved to. Does anyone remember what they called? Is it Verdansk?
Garansk?
Garansk?
Garansk Fortress.
I knew it ended with a sk. Yeah.
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for remembering that.
That does seem like the best plan. We should go back. I have business in the Forge, but if we are trying to not wait at all, we could just go all together, check in on them. My Forge business is hours long. Not days, but hours.
Once we get to the warbands, you could yeet from the warbands to the forge while we work with Mira to find the right people. Maybe it's Absalorn or Soya, and we also talk to my brain.
So you will work with the warbands at Garansk. I will work with the Forge, make sure that they're okay. Also do some forging with the business that I have. Get that done in a few hours. We meet back up at the Forge and travel onward to Natug. That
sounds
is
like
multiple
the plan.
yeets. That is multiple yeets at the end of the plan.
You were yeet.
Okay. So, you guys are all yeeting to. You guys are all yeeting to Garansk, right?
I think that's the plan, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I assume that we have Mira's permission to take her with. We're not just like kidnapping somebody.
Hey, Mira, you want to go for a ride?
She just looks down at you and she says, "Sure." And she sort of puts one of her clawed hands out to you.
Take my clawy hands and grab her clawy hand.
Okay. So I assume everyone is going?
Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah, yeet.
Okay. Why is it? Okay. You guys arrive. This yeet actually takes a long time. Like, you throw the stone, and the portal goes, and it gets bigger and bigger. And then that's when you realize that Mira always has, like, thousands of babies on her at a time. And it's, like, creating a portal that's large enough to take that much mass through. And then, eventually, about 30 or 40 seconds later, you get thrown back to Garansk, and she just looks around, and she says, "Oh, so this is where she lives. Interesting." You, she points down at Sabas after you guys arrive. "Show me my cousin."
Gladly. And Stavis is going to head over to.
Absalom.
Thank you. Absolutely. Really Ingerland.
Sure. You guys, what? Go ahead.
Rep is immediately going to break for where he keeps his stuff and go grab the full plate.
Okay.
And then head for the forge.
Okay. Like just the standard forge they have. You're not going to the. Or are you gonna?
No,
yeet
no.
to-
I'm gonna yeet to Feral's forge because we wanted to check in on them too, but also work faster. Probably.
Okay. Is anyone going with you?
If anybody wants to come, but yeah, no.
Okay.
All right, just me.
Okay. Yeah, it's easy enough. You're given. You basically go over to Stanislawa, and she just gives you a new yeet stone. Just she has a bunch with her that they just crafted. So she hands you one, and she says, "You can keep this if you have to. I am not worried at all. Not at all, actually." And I assume that you just head out right away. Rep, are you good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we have two?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was
Holy
receiving the
Fred
yeet stone
Yes,
from.
you're
Okay.
receiving the yeet stone from Stanislawa.
Got it. I misunderstood that. Yeah. Just heading out right away then. Yep.
Okay.
Before he leaves, I walk over and I hand him one grenade and say, "Before we left, I saw this on the ground. I didn't see more. I'm sorry." I just hand him one.
Make a deception
grenade.
check, please. You know he's full of shit.
You saw it on the ground, and you only saw the
Yeah.
one.
I mean, there might have been rocks that look similar. Do you want it?
Yes, I will take this. But you are hiding something from me. Definitely. You didn't see any others. You were nearest to me when I was brought back up. I was down. You brought me back up.
I did not see any others on the ground. Correct.
You did see others. And they were in my bag.
I saw.
You did not find this on the ground. You are lying. I have figured out you are lying. So now I just need to figure out how.
A lizard never lies. I just walk away. I just turn around and start just walking a direction.
Okay, that'll become relevant in just a minute.
Okay, so Rep, are you leaving?
Off to the forge. Yep.
He eats off to the forge, or to the foundry, the Ferald's foundry. Is it forge, or did I say forge or foundry? I don't remember what I said. Either way, the factory. It's a factory.
I didn't have my note-taking tool at that time. I'm sorry.
It's all of those things. It's literally a forge, a foundry, and a factory. So it's whatever. I'm not worried about it.
And armory, and bar and grill, and charcuterie.
It could be.
The
Conglomerate.
Chili's.
It's a Chili's. Yeah, Chili's have blacksmiths in there. Yeah. That being said, Sabas is taking Mira to meet Zoya. We'll get back to that in a second, unless we want to do that right now. Let's do. Actually, you know what? Let's go do that right now. You climb up one of the large pillars that has the spider silk woven around it to help you climb up there. And Mira literally just walks up the wall, and she just sort of looks around, and Zoya comes out from the ceiling, her like little ceiling, like she has a little loft up there that she made herself. She comes down and she looks down and she says, "Who have you brought me? Sebis, who's this?"
Your cousin, I believe.
"Oh, Mira." And Mira just nods. "So I take it you took care of her issue, and hopefully she'll get back to us? Maybe? Because you remember she was infected, and the trees are trying to absorb her consciousness into them as well. So you have successfully stopped them absorbing her, but you still have to remove her completely. So, however you want to say that.
I completely missed that part in the last session.
Yeah, you were out of it, but you know, that's why she looks like a tarantula and not a black widow or any other sleeker spiders. That's why Mira looks like a big hulking monster.
We've started the process, but there's more to be done, which we will do. She's infected in a way.
She just nods and sort of like starts poking and like prodding a little bit of Mira, and they're having this sort of like look and back and forth and small talk in their native language. Since none of you speak giant, I don't have to say shit. Or at least the one person that could potentially speak it is not here. Thank goodness. Okay. That being said, Loershik and Vidar, what are you doing?
Just trying to figure out if we had anything that we needed to do, because I think the plan was mostly bring Mira back, which Sabas is handling, and then go to the forge, which Nishan is currently handling. So maybe making sure that we have the yeet stones, because we need to be able to yeet to the forge to meet up with a technician, and then also yeet to Natode. So we need at least 2 charged ones.
Vidar, perhaps we should talk to Stanislava and coordinate everything that we need from the warbands while we're here.
Do you have a need for more supplies beyond yeet stones? I tend to not carry much on me myself.
No, but I do have this, and I reach into my bag and I pull out a grenade and I hand it to Vidar.
Vidar takes it kind of nervously, because he has seen what happens with these things, and then kind of, sleight of hands it into his bag, pretends, I don't know what you're talking about.
Tell technician that you found it on the ground and that you didn't see any others. After doing so, I start like wandering towards wherever Stanislava is holed up in this new fortress.
Yep, she's in like an offshoot of the giant Blackstone like temple area on the top, where they have another building that's connected to it. And she lives in like, it's sort of like a living area as opposed to like the religious ceremony area. And her and most of the leadership live throughout these like scattered Blackstone buildings all throughout this enormous citadel. Yeah, and she lives in the one at the very top because she is the current leader of the warbands. So, yeah.
When we get there, I politely knock. I assume there's some giant opening, so I peek in and just kind of go knockety knock knock. I assume Vidar is following in tow.
Are you
Uh,
following?
You got nowhere else to be.
He needs to stand in the doorway while I'm talking to Stanislava. What are you talking about?
Doors aren't going to stand in by themselves.
That's funny. You guys are sort of I like how Daddy's talking to himself. That's good. He's laughing a lot.
There's logic in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Also, you're muted.
I'm not there, so I'm not saying anything because I'm not there. But it was an exclamation of "you fucking what?" That's all. Yeah.
You go into this beautiful building, and it has been brought up that her tapestries and things that were in the giant tent have been moved, and she's sort of moved into this gigantic house. And again, Kuzma is next to her. As soon as you enter this giant sort of living room area that has a roaring fire in the hearth, and she's sort of sitting on this really high-backed chair that has a bunch of arrows sticking out the very top of it. Like, she's big, like, she's a gigantic lady, but this is like 2 feet above her head, and she's been very clearly using it for target practice.
Stanislava, it seems that your quarters have been upgraded significantly. Why didn't you move here in the first place?
Because this is the hold of last resort for our culture. We don't come here unless we have to, because supplies are hard to come by, and we only come here when it's absolutely 100% necessary, which the end of the world would sort of dictate that to being a thing.
Speaking of end of the world, did you also see the meteor shower?
I did.
Is the meteor shower still happening?
It is.
One can only assume that this means that, based on what we know, the war has stopped, and new residuum is coming to Earth,
I don't think so.
to the planet.
I don't think so, because Kuzma has told me recently that it's not new tears. It's not temper. It is the creation of something new. Something new, but something of everything is the words he used for it. Something new, but something
Something
of
new.
everything.
Interesting. Well, we were in the Walking Willows with Mira, who is cousin of Absalorn, Zoya, I can only assume. Which we brought Mira back. She kind of snuck a few thousand of her children back with her. I apologize in advance. But they need a new home. Are you able to work with Absalorn and try to find them a new living accommodation that isn't toxic?
Of course. I assume, do you know if she wants to stay in Siltheim, or does she want to come back here? I think coming back here
Honestly, I don't recall.
strategically would not be too ideal. But it could happen. We have caves. There's a large... What's it? A large catacomb underneath all of the Blackstone Citadel that stretches for miles and miles that her kind would be quite comfortable in. But I think strategically, knowing the moves of everyone is probably a good idea as well.
Well, her consciousness isn't fully there. She was infested with an awful plague that we had to destroy. And then she wasn't able to communicate with the spider network because there's this toxic ash that is falling across the Walking Willows that is preventing their communication. So I'm sure she would be happy anywhere, but probably best to nurse her back to health and get her consciousness back so she can make that decision.
Sure. I can... we've already sent your representative from Yunskiel back with a handful of workers, and they will be coming back to get more as we go. And she did tell us about that new wing that had a large cave. You caved in the entrance to it, right?
Correct. So Sabas had destroyed the entrance to prevent them coming back through that.
I had a thought that maybe if she needs to be separated, that we take her underground and the ash will no longer be an issue. We could also use the spiders for cultivating and things. Maybe that will remove a little bit of the danger from the explosives that potentially could happen with those mushrooms. I think the spiders would be ideal for working that kind of condition, if you understand. And transporting them there would not be an issue.
That sounds fantastic. Just a couple more things before we can leave you be. One, just to let you know, Technician has apparently crafted three devices that allow him to throw it, and then it explodes into more smaller devices that explode, which nearly killed me. He has thrown one. I have returned one to him, and I've also given Vidar here one. Those are all the ones I'm aware of. But I wanted you to know that he has a very deadly device.
Do you have one more, don't you? You have additional 2 more.
He's lying. He's lying.
Let me go
too
ahead and
hard,
check.
but-
Let me go ahead and check that equipment real quick. Let me see here. Are you lying to me right now? I know that you. How many did you make? You got 5 made, right?
I had 5 made. I
You threw
used
one.
one. He stole 4. He gave
Vidar
me back one,
Vidar
and he gave
has
one to
one.
Vidar. So yes,
He
he
has-
has 2
Yeah,
on his person
he has
at the
2 on his
moment.
person. So I need you to make a deception check against Stanislawa, please.
With advantage, though, right? Because I'm such a good liar.
No,
Right?
Absolutely not. If Sabas was here, I would say yes, but she is not to save you. She's not going to save you.
Can I assist? But just by like demonstrating. Oh yeah, I have one. Not like actually jumping in and putting my neck on the line, but
No, you put your neck on the line to assist. That's what you do.
slightly corroborating his story.
You help him. You help him in this lie. That's how assisting works.
I nudge Vidar.
Pulling the grenade out is not going to be corroboration. You have to be more cooperative than that.
The problem is that Vidar may not actually know that Luerchik is lying about the count, because he doesn't know. He didn't see Luerchik steal them. And all he knows is that Luerchik gave him 1. That's it.
That is technically all I know.
Yeah.
All right.
But I do know that Lorishik is sus as hell. But I don't technically know he's lying.
You don't have to be a bard to know that Luerchik is sus as hell.
I'll give you advantage. I'll give it to you because of corroboration, I suppose.
Sweet.
I don't think it's going to help you. Why is there
It
only
did.
Why is there only 1 die? Oh, okay. 18.
Because I already rolled one. Come on, Stanislava.
Okay.
Suck it up for daddy.
Plus 13 wisdom. Here we go.
That came out all wrong. I'm so sorry.
That
Very unintentional. I do not have feelings for Stanislava.
I don't believe
Okay.
you for a second. You like big
Shit.
ladies. You love big ladies. Let's be real. You as a person do, and Loershik does. I know that.
He likes large leaders, and he cannot lie.
I need both of you to make a perception check. Say that again, Sabas.
Good taste, honestly.
I know, right? Kuzma comes walking around from the corner. Just as you say that. Kuzma, however, has a plus 14 to insight.
He rolls on that one.
$18. He only rolled a 4.
So that's a meet.
And you literally look at Kuzma as he comes around the corner, and he gives you that sort of, that dad look that's like, come on. And Stanislava looks back at him, and she puts her hand out.
I take one more grenade out of the bag and hand it to Stanislava. Okay. You got me. I wanted one just in case, but they're very dangerous, Stanislava.
Oh, I understand this, but this is a weapon, and if we can recreate it for our own use.
He threw
Hey,
it at the monster I was standing next to, and I almost died.
It does happen when you deal with explosives in this way.
He didn't care about my life. I just saved his life. I sacrificed Callum.
She pats you on the head. She's like, "It's okay, Lurshik. Don't worry. Don't worry. I will try to keep you safe."
I made the
hey,
shield.
DM,
I pulled the shield out.
Yeah.
DM, quick question: is Stanislava going to inspect that weapon, or maybe somebody inspect the magical nature of that weapon?
She's gonna have someone do it. Why?
I'm just curious.
Oh, you mean the non-magical nature of this
Yeah, yeah. The completely mundane grenade. There's
Yeah.
nothing special about that grenade, guys.
Except for the fact that it's a grenade and it does
Yeah.
an insane amount of damage.
It's a regular grenade. It's a regular ass grenade. I want to be very clear on this because everybody seems to like think there's something special in the grenade. Nothing special in the grenade.
Well, but there is also something to be said about the world, and the world is in a dark age of technology and information. So grenades are not a normal thing that just exist everywhere. They are very rare, and it takes a very skilled person to make one.
Right. Sorry. More to the point. If you throw the grenade and you don't know what you're doing, it's not going to magically become more grenades. That's what I'm saying.
No. I think Lorshik understands that throwing one grenade and then having 7 go off is not normal. He would have understood that you were spellcasting, because you took one grenade and there were 7 explosions. That's definitely he may be dumb, but he's not
I thought
that
it was
dumb.
a cluster bomb.
That's what I'm saying. Is I picked up on the fact that he thought it was a cluster bomb. Yeah.
I do think it's a cluster bomb.
Okay.
It isn't. It's a mundane grenade. Like
It's
it's
just a
a regular ass grenade in the PHP.
Okay.
So,
And I described it to Stanislava as a cluster bomb.
yeah. That's why that's why I asked. I was like, hang on, before we go too far with everybody thinking this is a cluster bomb.
Hold on, Meta, real quick. Let's shut down this train of thought. Oh, it's so good.
No. If anything, we're continuing it because Loershik and Stanislava both think this is a cluster bomb at this point.
Yeah, I'm just setting the record straight for mechanics in the background here. Yep.
Anything else to talk to Stanislava about as she pockets the grenade?
Lastly, given the current events, the compass was telling us to go towards Karansk, I believe, and or Karska. I'm sorry. Do you have anybody who might be able to yeet us to the Ferald's foundry or forge or whatever, pick up rep, and then yeet us again directly to Karska?
I know of one person.
And in walks Orc Man.
In walks this man's.
Oh shit.
So, a 5-foot tall, hunchbacked, completely covered in bone armor made of human bones. He's wearing a skull mask that is like 2 human skulls melded together. And I need you to make a perception check, please. And this is about the time that Sabbas would be coming back down into this meeting from having Mira and Zoya meet each other. They're just, doing cousin stuff, talking to each other. You come back down, Sabbas. Yes, perceive, please. Oh, shoot. Okay. As Vidar, as this guy sort of walks in, he's got a staff and he's sort of hunchbacked and he's sort of looking up at you. You can tell that whatever skull he's wearing is also the same species and race as him, because he has two eyes that have been gouged out on the sides, and then a single eye in the middle on his head. And you're close to Kuzma, right?
Yeah, somewhat.
You're the closest to Kuzma.
He's in the
than
doorway.
Anybody else? Relationship-wise, you're the closest to Kuzma of anyone here.
Lorishik would have been, right? Because Lorishik spent all that time with him when we first got to the warbands.
You
Yeah,
both
we had
have
an acid trip together.
Oh, that's true. Lorishik, you recognize that he's from Suterica. This is the first person other than Kuzma you've seen as part of his clan.
I'm not. I lean over and whisper to Stanislava. Well, he's horrifying.
She just looks down at you and nods very subtly. As is everyone from Suterica. They all look this way. This one is special.
Are they related? I just kind of point and gesture to.
No,
No.
no. Kuzma is a special case. And you hear the sort of the sort of like clacking of bones as his bone staff and his bone armor jingles on him, and you can actually see fresh blood on the top of the skulls, on the top of his skull on his helmet. And he walks over and he goes right up next to Vidar and looks up at him. Vidar's like 6 feet tall, right? How tall is Vidar?
5'10" or something like that, maybe.
This guy's like 5 foot even. Looks straight up at Vidar, and you see like the one eye is like glowing, that sort of teal glow that Kuzma always has coming off of him for some reason. And he just looks at you. He says, "I am Cyclop. That's what they call me. I am Cyclop."
And Vidar goes, "Hello, I am Vidar."
Greetings. And his teeth are black, like stone almost.
I walk over to him and extend my hand and stare directly at his one center eye and ask, "So why do they call you Cyclop?"
His eye just sort of squints at you for a second. Is this joke?
I mean, you had 3 at one point, right? And I like continue to gesture, like shake my hand, please.
He has a hand on his staff, a hand on his chest in like a pocket. A third hand comes out from from behind and shakes your hand.
Ooh. That's handy.
Jokes. This one is made of jokes. I have joke too. Make a wisdom saving throw, please, as you're shaking his hand. Are you leaving that?
Yeah, why not? What's the worst that could happen?
Your arm shrinks to the size of a baby arm. Now it's just like just dangling there.
Stanislava, you shrunk my arm.
Technically speaking, you did make fun of him. And then it goes back to its size, but falls limp, and you realize that you don't have bones in your arm anymore.
Yeah, I deserve that. I deserve that.
And then you watch his arm turn into your arm, but it's just made of bones.
I use my other hand to just kind of like poke his hand. Do I feel it?
You do?
Oh, that's a neat trick.
It's not trick.
Can you do that to robots?
Are you going to apologize?
I'm sorry. I'm just, the blood, the
He pulls out a
bones,
bone saw
intimidating.
from the pocket in his chest, and then places it on the arm.
I'm very sorry. I just trying to lighten the mood. You cast an intimidating presence.
Okay. He puts the saw back in. You have 3 days. And he walks away from you.
But I need both arms for my hammer. I can't do anything without the bones.
Maybe next time you'll think about making fun of people you first meet.
I will give you gold.
I don't need gold.
I will give you a grenade.
I don't want a grenade. Whatever that is.
It explodes and then turns into more explosions.
Congratulations. I'm glad you have that.
Oh, okay. I'll trade you.
No, the
I'll trade you
duration
bones for my bones.
the duration of the spell is 3 days.
But you can undo it, of course. Right?
I will not.
Please?
No.
Please?
No.
I reach into my bag and I pull out the skull of the banshee and say, "You can have this if you give me my bones back."
I don't want her.
Why not?
Because she is yours. She has purpose within your party. I can see that clearly. I have the vision of Suterka. I can clearly see her in the jar.
Just put her skull back.
What?
Pretty sure Jar's with me.
Oh, he has. Oh, you have the skull. Yeah.
Yeah,
Jar is with you.
Yeah.
But the side of Suterica shows actually like spirits and stuff like that, so he can see her in the
I
jar.
gotcha.
Like he understands the concept that is a meaningful object that should stay with you, and he's not taking it.
I need my bones, please. I'm very sorry. I didn't mean to offend you. I just, if we're gonna be traveling together, I wanted to make sure we got off on the right foot, and
He walks
to have gotten off on the wrong arm.
He walks back over, and he pulls his hand out of his like pocket and pulls out a jar. Cry. Fill this with tears, and I will dispel it.
I can't remember the last time I cried. How do I just cry?
He pulls out the bone saw.
Please don't. I start to weep.
You actually start crying?
Instantly.
Really?
He's about to cut my arm off. Him.
He takes the jar with your bony arm and puts it to your eye, and it literally starts filling up this tiny little vial of tears with your tears, and he corks it, puts it in his little belt, and then he casts Dispel Magic on it, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please, as your bones are reinserted into your arm. The pain is insane, and you immediately drop to the ground, and he pulls out a much larger vial and bends over and starts filling another larger vial with your tears.
Oh, man.
What are you doing? What are you doing while this is happening, Vidar? What are you doing?
Vidar's just kind of standing back, being like, glad I didn't say anything. Actually, just quietly and to himself, Vidar is going to say that pretending to be social spiel felt stupid in the moment, but it seems to have spared me. I owe technician one for telling me to be more social.
I was like, what are you doing? And then I realized, oh yeah, he said he was going to try a thing, and he did it. Oh, by the way, Sabas, you watched that all happen as well. What do you do? You watch Lorshik get the bone sucked out of his arm, and then he starts crying, and the guy is filling up vials with his tears, and he's on the floor crying because of how much pain he's in. What are you doing? What did you do during that?
Being very amused.
You're just sitting there smiling, laughing. What are you doing?
Just sort of looking at Loeshik like, you kind of deserve this. So it's kind of on you.
Fair enough.
But then I just introduce myself to.
Cyclop,
I already forgot his
Cyclop.
name.
Cyclop.
Oh, it is just Cyclops. Okay.
It's Cyclop without the
yeah,
S
yeah.
at the end of it.
There's the Cyclops. Hi, I'm Savis.
Oh, greetings. I am Cyclop. And the third arm comes back out again and shakes your hand. And one thing you notice immediately, Cyclop, or Sabis, is that this third arm
New character. Let's go.
does not belong to him.
That's okay.
It's
He will
definitely
shake it anyways.
it's a different skin tone. He's very tan, and this is a very light skin toned arm.
Yeah, she's just gonna shake his hand and say nothing more, having witnessed the wrath of Cyclops.
Yeah, and he turns around and he picks Lorshik up off the ground and casts a healing word on you to stop the pain.
I just go and find a corner and just sit in it and rock gently.
He actually goes into his pack, and he pulls out a leather pouch and hands it to you.
Me?
Yeah.
I reluctantly grab it.
I've heard much about you, and I'm just curious as to see how you feel about this. He puts it in your hand.
I smell anything?
Yeah, it smells like jerky.
Hey, flick it open and look inside. What do I see?
Beef jerky. Well, not beef jerky. It's jerky.
I instantly grab one and just shove it in my mouth.
His eye squints at you. Yeah? How is it? It tastes really good.
It does?
Yeah.
It tastes good. I'm going to die. Or I'm going to turn into a rabbit. Or
No, that's
I'm going to lose an eyeball.
that's my cousin, actually.
His like tongue comes out with the meat still on it. Your cousin?
Yeah, he's human. You are lizard man, are you not? You can eat human. It's not an issue. I mean, he died of natural causes, not cancer or anything. He just died. So in Suterica, we leave nothing to be wasted. So we made jerky from him, and we tanned his hide, and that's what I wear. I have this bag, and literally he like pulls his bag over, and it's very clearly like human leather.
Does his bag match his third arm?
No. His bag is also very tan.
I politely swallow what I've already started chewing.
It actually tastes
close the bag.
really good. It actually is very, very good.
The flavor is delicious. Thank you for letting me try your cousin. And
No, that's yours to keep.
Thank you. So, did you use his arm as well for your third arm? And
Oh no,
I
this
put the
is someone
leather pouch
else.
in my bag.
This is someone else. It was one of the who are the guys that live in the far west? Someone tried to murder me in my sleep. So I stab him in his heart, and I chop his arm off, and I graft it to myself. See, they call me the grafter. And he throws his cloak over, and he has like a bunch of ears stitched to his side, and then like on his actual like chest, and he pulls his mask up a bit, and he has extra eyeballs that are actually grafted into his face, and they're all like actively looking around and stuff.
Well, that's interesting. is that skull on your head also the person who tried to kill you in your sleep?
Oh no, this is my grandfather.
Oh, where's the fresh blood from?
My cousin.
So he just died.
Long enough to make jerky. But you can preserve people by freezing. It's just like you. It's just how you preserve any other meat. It's just that you happen to know him. It's like if you were to have a cow, and you grow very close to the cow, and then the cow dies, and you eat the cow. Except, for me, people are cows. I don't eat them because physiologically I am not compatible. But you, being a lizard, are not human. You are a lizard. So therefore you are a carnivore. You eat meat, and he is meat. So nothing goes to waste.
I pull the pouch back out and take out a piece and say, "Hey, Sabas, you want to try some of this beef jerky?" And hand it to her.
No, thank you. I ate already.
You can eat it though, Sabas, if you want to.
No.
Well, Cyclop, I appreciate the kind gift. I don't have anything other than gold I can give you. I'm happy to give you gold.
No. He says thank you, by the way.
Who
My
Who is
cousin. Yeah, he's here. He's right here.
Do I see his cousin?
No. Do you have the lens that lets you see dead people?
I don't think we ever got them back.
You haven't
We
gotten
still
them
haven't
back
talked to. We haven't talked to
He
him.
literally looks at you and says, "Yeah, my cousin. He's right here." He says that you honor him by consuming what he gave to the earth.
Oh, I'm familiar with spirits tagging along. I recently lost my friend.
I have heard.
Ah.
I have heard from the great Kuzma, and I want to say that I'm sorry for your loss. It's not very often that the spirits move on. For us, anyway.
He
But
was very selfless.
as we all should be. Like my cousin.
Well, cousin, your meat tastes very good in my mouth.
Oh, his name is Bran. And we call those Bran flakes.
Golf clap. Absolute golf clap. Brand Flakes. Love it.
Vidar, what are you doing during this conversation?
Mostly just every time Loershik says something, expecting Cyclop to take bones out of another arm. So kind of just back and forth, just like eagerly anticipating what's going to go down in this conversation, and then ultimately kind of disappointed that it's just, Vidar doesn't eat stuff, so eating another person doesn't really sound all that, I don't know, wrong.
It's
I
all,
guess.
yeah.
He's just doing robot math. He's like, calories is calories, I guess. I don't know.
Well, and if you're compatible, why not, right? That's like sort of the principle is it's like they don't want anything to go to waste, so why would they waste a person? There's a lot of nutrients there that could be had by someone who's compatible. And the warbands doesn't have very very many, if any, lizard men at all. So you're like literally the only person here that could eat it. Unless they were full giant could eat a human if they wanted to.
So Stanislava.
Stanislav is only half giant. She's not a full giant.
Oh. So
Actually,
Cyclops.
who could is Casimir's wife.
Hang on a second.
Cyclops.
Isn't the Beast Butcher also
He is the Beast Butcher.
a cannibal?
Also,
He is a
yeah.
cannibal, but is he full giant? I didn't.
He is a full giant. Yes.
Okay.
So, Cyclope, is it best if I try to share bran flakes with as many people as possible to honor Bran? Or should I eat them all myself?
All you need to keep compatibility and potential disease aware of it. If they are also lizard folk, or giant, or a different species, then I will say yes, you can, but don't give that to your friends, because parasites and things can also be an issue for those that are also human. We don't deal with brain matter. That's one of the things we have discovered, is that the brain makes people go insane. So we tend to just turn that to ash first. So
Mad human disease. I've heard of this. Uh, is your name? Were you given Cyclop when you were born, or?
no, I was given Cyclop after I did the ritual of ascension, and then I became the grafter, because I found this. It's weird. I combined myself with an entity, and all I had to do was lose my eyes. So I lost two of my eyes, and we became one, and that's why I can take more than one of the everything.
Oh, I understand. Bran and Cyclop just, didn't go hand in hand. There must have been a story. I appreciate you sharing. Thank you. I think that we should probably try to save the world. And I kind of look out the door, back out to the sky. It sounds like you might be accompanying us to the forge and then off to Karska.
Sure. I have been there, so I would love to take you there. I do have to tell you that the indigenous people are my people, so be aware they're not all as alien as I am now, but they should be happy to see you. So maybe.
I like a good maybe, right, Vidar?
How is the sense of humor in Karska?
Literal. They don't have one. If
Good to
if we
know.
make joke,
And kind of looks at Lowershik.
if we make jokes, they are more close attend to they it's hard to explain. Uh Allegory and literal. What is the word for this? There's a word for this. It's hard to translate from native language. Metaphor. Joke.
I'm used to
coming-
having my staff help me get a better understanding of the culture before I visit somewhere. So this is helpful.
Yes, I will.
Feels like home.
I will guide you, because if you were looking for person, correct?
Not so much a person. More like being.
Interesting. Okay. Are we ready? Are we all here?
Stanislava, does Cyclop have a special yeet stone that allows him to yeet multiple places in a short period of time? We prefer not to spend an abundance of time at the forge.
Kuzma walks over to you and hands Cyclop his special yeet stone. Just bring that back as soon as you are finished and taking them. Just come back on your own. That you have one, correct, Lorchik?
Correct. We used it to get here, so it's on a cooldown currently.
Okay, so expect to spend some time in Karska then.
Unfortunately, that probably will be the case.
I apologize. I cannot lend you mine. Only a member of my clan can use it. So,
I understand.
are you guys ready to go? Does Vidar have anything he needs to do?
Nope.
Does Sabas have
That's
anything
all I
she needs to
planned.
do? Okay. Lorshik, are you good?
Is Casimir around?
You don't know where Casimir is. Are you gonna go look for him?
Nah, I was just gonna show Casimir my shield that I made. You'd appreciate it. But it's okay.
Yeah. So you guys yeet right to the forge with the big yeet stone, the one that has no cooldown. All of you arrive right in the where are you coming out in the forge? I assume you're coming out in like the big area. Or are you coming down in like the factory start area? Where are you going?
We can't. We have to actually yeet to the platform outside, right? Because there's a magical barrier that prevents us from yeeting in.
Oh,
Didn't we specifically make a
oh yeah, you go to
unenchant a cave?
The teleportation area, with the divots.
Yeah,
in it.
we basically like super locked a section to cave to make it so we could teleport there and then also have it be safe.
That's right. I don't know why I forgot about that. That's like a huge part of the thing. I actually physically took notes on. Weird. Good job, Sabas. I'm gonna give you inspiration for helping me with that.
So we can't
Thank you.
Because Rep, you've been there for a few minutes now. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go on our 15-minute break. And then right when we come back, we're going to do a few minutes of what Technician is doing. Then you guys are going to arrive, and then we're all together again. Does that sound good?
Yep. Sounds good.
All right. Let me start this timer. We'll see you guys in 15 minutes. Bam. Welcome back, everybody. It's Legendary Tales. I don't know why I'm doing this voice, but I am. We have yeeted successfully to Ferald's Foundry, Ferald's Forge, Ferald's Factory. Call it all of the above names. It works. It's canon. I've decided that. In our note thing, we're gonna have to make 3 separate notes, but they're all linked to that one page. By the way, just you should know. On our self-designed wiki page. Is that milk? Are you drinking milk out of a Baja Blast cup?
It's a Slurpee cup.
That makes me real uncomfortable. Like, on so many levels. I just wanted you to know. Sorry. Oh, or are those... Wait, are those Thin Mints? Justified. Take that back. I take that back. Okay. Rep, you arrive by yourself on the teleportation platform.
Gonna immediately start looking around for the people that we've had here, the Soulforged that are running the Forge Foundry, Bar, Grill, Armory, etc.
You've got your key. You stick your key in. The whole thing unlatches, and you head inside. And the first thing you're met with is the smell of forging. It smells like fuel. It smells like carbon. You get inside, and the first person you're met with is Auroch. Auroch sort of turns to you the second the door opens and says, "Oh, greetings."
Hello. How are the projects going?
Good.
Have we set up a board yet?
No, I have this. And he hands you the book. His big book, his giant tome.
The giant. Oh, got it.
And he's got all of the projects planned out. He actually has the factory laid out, and it literally is a page that he's sewn in that literally unfolds into a gigantic like layout of the factory, and then all the machines that link together and like what processes go where from which side and everything. And he's literally like, we need 4 people for this, we need 3 people for this, we need like literally he's planned out the whole thing logistically.
Auroch, this is perfect. This is excellent project management. If you ever decide to not be a blacksmith and be in charge of a team, you should be the project manager of a team.
I am not a warlock. I'm sorry.
No, you're thinking of product management. I said project.
Okay. Well,
A foreman.
I work with my hands. And he actually hands you a small little temper orb.
These are the power devices for the soldiers.
The raw form. Yes.
Is there a second stage? Do we need to empower them?
We need to imbue them additionally and enchant. Chastelet can enchant. We need more material.
What raw material do we need?
Steel. Tool steel.
Tool steel.
Not
Well,
much,
there is
not much here.
I see. I do have some that you might be able to... I have some steel with me. I was planning to reforge this to fit somebody. They are being slightly jerky. So I might just make a breastplate for them.
No. Armor, not same steel.
Not same steel.
Not same
It
steel.
cannot be hardened?
No. Not without melting down and remaking, which is a time process, and that would only make about 10 power cores.
We do have friends in other forges across the world, and I will see what the warbands can do about getting us some tool steel. That does not seem like a very tall ask, but I don't think I will be able to do anything about it immediately.
This all take time.
Very well. I need 1 auto hammer, 1 forge, and I will just need to occupy the space for some time. Is that all right? Will it interrupt your project flow?
No. I am still documenting everything.
Thank you.
And he actually like walks you over to it and like explains like this eventually will be that we take these things from over here, use the power hammer and the presses and things like that, and then the forge is very nearby so that if people need to go from one to the other, they can do that. And then it's about midway through talking about this and showing you everything that's happened so far. Sabis, Lorshik and Vidar come through the portal. Each of you also have your keys, your diprism keys that you can put in there. Open it up, and you walk in to see Auroch and Technician hanging out. What are you guys doing? Are you good? Are we all here?
Sabas, was that you raising your hand? It looked like you were... Okay. Gotcha.
It's just waving.
Hello. We have been reviewing the status of the projects. They are actually all in green. Oh, no, I take that back. There is one that has some dependencies. We need tool steel for the power cores.
Do you have a board that tracks the project status?
No, we have a book here. It's Warrock's book. I believe he labeled it G-Raw.
As you're walking over there, Lorshik, he has this giant piece of paper that he's sewn in there that folds out. And Chaz Tillette actually walks over to you guys and goes, "Oh, we have begun transferring the paper to a large plate that we've attached to the wall." And she sort of points at it, and there's a huge, like 6 foot by 6 foot metal plate that appears to be made of either copper or like a bronze that's just mounted to the wall that what's her name?
Press a few buttons while she's doing this that pulls up the sprint burn down and shows us her velocity, please.
What specific references that Lorshik has no idea about?
This is the exact same conversation. This is all PM stuff. Project manager, DM. Yeah.
I know what it is.
Well, I know. You know. I'm explaining for chat. They have no idea about the conversation we had earlier.
I stare at this metal plate on the wall in amazement.
Yeah, Vizim is actively using chisels to engrave all of the schematics and all of the people placement and stuff.
Vizim, how do you keep track of the engineering work that needs to be done?
Whatever Auroch tells me to do, I do that. Because he is far more knowledgeable when it comes to these things. I can work with the temper and turn it into the sphere. And then we have come to a standstill. But Auroch is much more knowledgeable, and he just talks to me about it. So I'm just making this for something to do because we are sort of stuck.
Well, I appreciate your organizational skills.
All right.
I think that we should probably go quickly. Do we have any interest in? I look back to the group. Do we have any interest in bringing Vashim or Cheslet along with us?
Just as you guys are having this conversation, Chestelet walks over with Vajim, and all of you are in the same place. Sabas, you're there. Vidar's there. Technician, you come over, and Lorshik is there. And they both look at you, and they say, "We felt something this morning. Early. Like, if you were to take an orange and you peel off a little bit of it, and then you were to inject water or some other fluid into it. Imagine your whole being felt that way. Did something happen?"
This morning, like around when dawn should have happened.
Yeah.
You guys have not been outside yet, have you?
We can't go outside.
Oh. The sky is just stars and a meteor shower, even during the daytime. And this morning, the compass showed us a vision of a void-like hand smashing two types of energy together, which resulted in a silhouette of a being.
That confirms
So
it then.
we can only assume. Confirms what?
That feels like the void has made one. Void has made a new Soulforged.
We have no
And
time to waste.
From what we were
find
told,
the rest of the Soulforged.
from what we were told, he or she is going to be incredibly powerful. Even more so than us. Because Moomball did it without any effort. The first generation didn't have a Soulforge, a Void Soulforge to deal with. They just went because the world decided it was so. So the second generation, Forald, Gleam, when Moomball was created, that was more power that he had available to him. So I assume that this one will be as powerful as Forald and Gleam. So we just need to be very careful.
Technician, have you done all of the things that you have needed to? You came back to the forge early. Have you covered all of your tasks?
That's a very good question. Have I? DM?
Yeah. No, you have not. He has made progress on the second part, but it is not quite ready yet.
Is the first one done then?
You will be able to do the first one.
Okay. So Rep is going to go back over to his workstation and grab a suit of armor and said, I got one done. The other one is still a work in progress. Lorshik, come here, please.
I hesitantly walk towards him. You don't have that thing I gave you earlier, do you?
Yes, I do, but that has nothing to do with this.
It's not near you. It's in a bag.
It is on my person. I'm not going to explode you. Come here.
I hesitantly walk towards.
Sit in my chair. Sit in my chair. No, sit in my chair.
I hand Vidar my bag before I go and sit in his chair.
Rep is going to start applying plate mail to Lorishik. Noticeably, the chest piece still has ample room for a female bust, and the cod piece is a little bit snug.
This feels nice on my cloaca. I like the cold.
Thank you. I left the room in the breastplate because it is a breastplate.
Perhaps you could just instead maybe take a hammer to flatten it. I don't have. Lizard folk don't have busts.
There is no time. As you said, we must make haste.
I gave one
There
of
is
your
no time.
grenades to Stanislava.
Okay, thank you for being honest with me now, but you did lie to me earlier, so I will lie
Please
to you
get
now.
rid of the.
I will lie
Please.
to you now and say that later I will alter this armor for you. I will take this hammer and use it to alter your armor.
I'll just use my own hammer to smash it. I stand up and grab
That
my
will ruin the
maul.
armor. That will ruin the armor.
I sit back down. Okay.
Okay,
Vidar has one too.
congratulations. You are now. Oh, Vidar, you have a grenade?
No, he doesn't. That was a lie.
You know what? I will take care of that in just a second. So you are now wearing full plate mail. I dropped the infusion on the bag of holding, so it's just a regular bag now. There wasn't anything in it anyway. Drop the infusion on that, so you now have full plate mail, which is normally AC 18.
But this
It
one is
is
infused, right?
It is infused, so it is actually +2, so it's 20.
+2?
It's +2.
Jeez.
Level 10 artificer.
All right.
Yep.
Let me give him I'm giving you +2 plate on VTT on D&D Beyond, but we're gonna do both. We're gonna do both in the virtual tabletop. Actually, we're gonna do both on both of them. But if he drops that
For my
infusion,
AC's 20.
yeah.
Yeah. Your AC is now 20.
If he drops the +2 plate mail, if he drops the infusion, you have to just set it to normal plate. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah. But I have boobs.
You do have.
Your armor is
This deal
it's
just
quite
keeps
literally
getting
he went with
better.
the literal interpretation of breastplate. So
Okay. Plate +2 and then normal plate. Wait, what? Plate armor. There it is.
actually hang on a second. Does he need to I don't think he has to attune to that. I'm like 90% sure he doesn't have to attune to that.
No. He doesn't have to attune to it.
Okay.
Technician, thank
Why?
you so much for this.
Please remember this in the future before you decide to steal from other people in the party.
I didn't steal. I borrowed.
Did you go through my bag
Regifted.
while I was unconscious?
You were practically dead. I also gave you a potion to bring you back to life. Twice, back to back. This seems to be a recurring theme with you.
I noticed that you also fell down after I did the thing with the grenade, so this should prevent that in the future a little.
Yeah, because you won't. Anywho, I took those trees that seem to absorb your fire.
Fun fact, chat. This actually would not have prevented that at all.
I made a shield. I pulled a shield off my back and show it to Rep. I made a shield out of the trees that we fought because they seemed pretty tough. So
interesting.
If it happens again, I can just maybe take out the shield and just protect myself.
You would very quickly put on a shield while using two hands to hold a hammer?
I just drop the hammer. Who cares at that point? I don't want to die.
I'm not convinced you have thought this through.
Well, I'll practice, and so I'll get really good at pulling the shield out.
Okay, there you go. You have 20 AC. I wasn't working because I had to change your AC manually on the sheet. So, from your natural armor to everything else. All right.
So there we go. The rogues are extra sneaky, and everybody else is not getting hit, but definitely isn't sneaky. That's the other thing. You now have disadvantage on stealth as long as you're wearing that armor.
Okay. Sabis, are you doing anything while we're in the Forge Foundry factory?
I don't think I have anything I want to make. Question?
Oh, you will make progress on the project you told me about. Your big crossbow.
Like, what goes in the text, though? This is.
Oh yeah, shotgun crossbow. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, you're making progress on it. It's gonna be a bit before it's completely finished because it takes technician a few hours to modify the plate to fit Loershik because that's a plate is all custom for everyone who wears it. It's not a generic one size fits all. So during that process, you could start working on your big crossbow. So.
Yeah, because the springs are solved. It's just the crossbow. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. There you go. So we're yeeting to.
He didn't say anything about that.
Yes. We're also yeeting to. Was it Karsk? Karska.
Yeah.
Are we yeeting to Karska now?
Vidar's gonna triple check with everybody in the forge to see if they need anything from the warbands, because Cyclop is going to be returning to the warbands afterwards, right?
Yes. Vizim actually comes over with a small pad of paper or a small like notebook, and just hands it to Vidar, and says, "Give this to him. This is tool steel, just things they need to get together and bring to us at some point." Are you going to look through the book, or are you just going to take it and give it to Cyclop?
Oh, but I was just gonna hand it to Cyclops and kind of give him the look like, I mean, could have handed it to him yourself.
You asked. I gave it to you. Don't get mad at me. Don't kill the messenger, as they say.
All right, so I guess Rep and Lorchik are. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I would say he doesn't bite, but I can't guarantee that.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's a new person here.
Cyclop is just looking
Hello.
around like, oh yeah, Cyclop hasn't seen Technician yet. He just sort of looks at you, and you see his like one eye and his other two eye sockets. He just sort of walks over to you.
Hello.
Greetings. Are you
I am Technician Rep.
Are you also going to make fun of me? Or is it
I
just
was
your
not
friend
planning
who
on it.
Is this just your friend who is abrasive?
I have been known to be abrasive, but it is mainly out of ignorance and being direct.
Oh. So it's more of a...
You are Suterica?
I am.
You honor your ancestors.
I do. And he puts
That
out
is-
he puts
that-
out he puts out that third arm, comes out and shakes your hand as he has his hand in his
Shake the
front
hand.
pocket.
Yep.
Technician
Oh,
now wants
that
a
is-
third arm.
Oh, what'd you say?
No, I don't want to do third arm mechanics. That just the shit gets real fucky there. I'm shaking the third hand. Oh, this is not. These are aftermarket parts. No, that is the wrong phrase. Something of that nature.
It was not mine, but is mine now.
Fascinating. Friend or foe?
Friend. At one point, it was my friend.
Fair enough. You are here to guide us in the Ashlands.
I am. I am from Karska. Initially.
Oh, excellent. That is where we are headed next.
It is. And my family doesn't live there, but I do know some of them. Hopefully they are still alive, but we will see.
Excellent. Is there anything I can craft for you? Not immediately, but eventually.
No, I have everything I need, unless you have bones. Do you have bones? I love bones.
I let me check. I'm actually 90% sure I don't, but
I don't think you have
I'm
bones,
not
but-
positive.
I know Lershik has bones.
I have a
I-
a small handful of small bones.
Do you really?
I don't know what it's from. It might have been from the Banshee.
You had taken there's a grave, if I remember correctly. I'll have to go look through my notes, but I remember noting it.
Are you gonna give him the small handful of bones?
I will offer him the small handful of small bones. Yes, this is all I have. I'm not actually sure
He
where I
just
got
looks
these.
at it with his hand. He takes one of the little ones out and he starts chewing on it. This will do. And he just
Excellent.
takes them and puts them in one of his little pockets.
I am glad to make your acquaintance. Shall we crack on?
We shall. Shall we go now?
Is everyone ready?
I take out one of the javelins in my bag and offer it to Cyclop. You do like bones. I crafted these from
Oh.
my friend's bones. You're welcome to have one if you'd like
he
to
takes one and
honor him.
he looks at it. I will honor him. Actually. And he sort of looks at it, looks at his walking stick, puts his walking stick in a bag, and then takes the javelin and turns it point side down, grinds it just a little bit on the steel floor to dull the tip of it, and he says, "Yes, I will honor him by having use for him. I think you will agree that not every tool needs to be a weapon." And you can actually tell that
You're right.
because of like the solid construction that you made this javelin with, that this is like a much more sturdy version of his walking stick. He's actually really jazzed about that. He's like, "I'm sorry that I hurt you. Thank you for this gift." What was
It's
his
okay.
what
I'm
was
sorry
his
for
name?
making fun of you. Callum.
Callum. Okay. I
He
will.
was a great king at one point.
Oh, he was a king. Maybe I can embellish this and make it kingly. Yeah. And he's like, "Shall we go? We have to leave the factory to eat, do we not?"
Yes.
Yes, we do.
Everyone groups together.
Disguise up. Yeah, I'm going to disguise up and mask up, right? Because we're going to.
Yep.
We're going. Yeah.
Yep.
As is tradition, when everyone disguises Sabbath will just wave a hand in front of her face and nothing will.
And put your gray cloak on for. Oh, that's dope. Put your gray cloak on for going into the ash, the silt time. Here we go. Activate. Bam.
Is that canonically what
No, what Cyclops
says
No,
when we're
no, it's not.
pretty please?
No.
But
It's a me, Cyclop.
it's a me, Cyclops.
It's a me, Cyclops. You guys travel through this black portal. You land on the banks of a very shallow mud river, right just south of Karska. I'll move the skull so you can get a better thing. You're basically to the south here, right south of the dot. And you land in this very loose sand sort of shore from this very large mud river that you're right next to. It's moving very slowly with little slip slurp sounds all over the place. Yeah. And you look up at the sky, and the sky is still stars.
Even though the sky is stars, is there like you mentioned it's muddy, obviously we're on the shore, but is there like any weather? Like, is it windy? Is it raining? Like,
No,
no doomsday stuff?
no,
Eye of the storm type of deal?
no,
Got it.
not at all. Literally, visibility has never been better.
Rep is going to take the divining python or the divining rod out and just check it real quick.
It is barely glowing.
Okay, sweep it, and I'm assuming it's glowing most if it's pointing north.
Yep.
Okay.
You take the compass out, it spins rapidly, and then directly north.
North.
I guess we start going north. Cyclop, are you heading back, or do you want to head into town with us first?
I will head into town so they are less aggressive. There are parts of the world that I have discovered after traveling that people are not nearly as, how do you say, positive in meeting people as I am. A lot of my people are actual cannibals, and they don't care for strangers. So I will introduce you, and then I'll be going as soon as I know you're going to be safe. What are you giggling about? I missed something in the Discord. Real, actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf. Yeah. That's
Shia surprise.
Shia surprise. Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Oh, and when we arrive, Vidar's going to make sure that he gives the book to Cyclops.
Okay. He takes
Just
it.
Make sure that he knows it.
He takes it
Get
and
this
put.
to Stanislava. She'll know what to do with it.
Okay. He takes it and puts it in his cousin's skin bag. Psh.
But perhaps you should lead the way, Cyclop. You know this area better than we do.
I do. As you're moving, he's wearing like a cloth robe that goes down from his bone, like adornments on his armor. And for the first time, you can see why they call him Cyclop, because one of his feet has a hoof.
So it wasn't the eye.
No.
I mumbled to myself as we start walking.
You realize that that's the sound his cane made when he was on a stone surface. Cyclop. Cyclop. Yeah.
So he's named after the sound he makes.
Yeah. The sound he makes when he walks.
What kind of weapon does he use?
You haven't actually seen a weapon on him.
Yeah, I know, but is it like a piercing weapon? Like, does he poke people to death? Is he a Pokemon? You know? Yeah. See, overcommit for the bit. There you go.
That was good.
Throw an ultra ball at Cyclop.
No, he likes to play a lot of games. Yeah, they call him Saw. Or Jigsaw.
Yeah. He does have that bone saw. I'm not making jokes at his expense anymore.
Oh no,
I'm
know.
done.
Oh, you better not. You already know what happens. You don't make jokes.
I don't have any bones. That's the funny part. But
This
yeah.
guy. Oh, you don't need to have bones for him to mess with you.
I also have a low wisdom save. I just realized.
Maybe that. Yeah, there you go. As you guys are walking toward Karska, what you thought? You're down the hill from it. You're about a mile away, and in the distance you can see that Karska is a gigantic town built into the skeleton of a colossal humanoid creature. The whole thing. You can see that there's giant webbing of like cloth or leather stretched between each of the rib bones to make a huge shelter. And then like each of the different parts, they're either carved into the bones. Like there are houses literally carved into like leg bones and stuff. But it's a gigantic colossal creature that has died. And inside of that colossal creature, there's a huge metal looking claw that has 3 prongs on it, and it's just like jammed right into the skull, essentially. A huge 3-pronged fang like claw has been jammed into the skull, and it's sort of mounted onto the ground that way. And their whole city is built in and around this huge skeleton. And when I say colossal, I'm talking like miles long. As he leads you up to the gates are built underneath a giant clavicle that has been refitted to basically have, instead of having walls, they have these giant chains that are 2 inches thick that just drape down, and then those are linked together with additional like chain links. So it's like a giant chain mesh that has essentially a large metal door structure that has been founded on a giant stone slab in the middle of it. And right directly in front of that, there sits a single man on a sort of pedestal. And for the first time ever, you see a person of the same race as Cyclops. and he is literally if you were to take a human skull and then divide it by two, but have your like one eye in the middle, that's what it looks like. He has two eyes that face off in the direction, then a single eye that faces forward, and yeah, his feet are actually clawed, and they look like birds' feet. And he has his like the anatomy lesson for humans is your fingertip should reach halfway down your thigh. His would go halfway down his shin, and he has extended arms that are basically an extra half an arm length long. And it's this basically both sections of his arm have been elongated, and he's holding a spear that he could easily wield and touch you out to 10 to 15 feet. And he's sitting there dressed in a bone, basically scale mail armor from head to toe. And he looks very jumpy, almost like a bird. He looks down at you as you guys approach. He says, "Greetings! Welcome to Karska. Who is that with you?"
Is he noticeably addressing anybody in particular?
Just your group in general. To be honest with you, his eyes are all looking in different directions, so you can't tell.
Vidar's mostly going to stand in the back and kind of look at Cyclop.
This is Cyclop. We are his coterie.
Oh,
We have business in town.
the grafter. Greetings.
Yes.
The Cyclops just nods at him. You may enter then. He pulls on the back side of the pedestal. He pulls up on this lever, and the door swings inward. Just know that your friends are part of your group. You will be held responsible. He sort of looks at him. You know
I
this.
flick him a gold coin.
He bats it right back into your hand. That's not necessary here. Do you have bones?
Quick, somebody convince him to invest in bone coin.
I grab another javelin and pull it out and hand it to him.
He looks at it, like takes the whole length of it, looks at it. This looks very nice. Quite nice, actually. Thank you.
Thank you. I made it myself.
I will honor this memory. And he
I
literally
pick up the gold coin and put it back in my bag.
he puts it in like he has like javelins of his own, but he puts it in there and like in a separate section is like a big quiver, like a big quiver for javelins. I don't know if there's another term for a quiver of javelins, but I don't know. Is there another is it different container altogether, or is it still called a quiver?
A verdant club of javelins.
A cloister?
A
A
cousin's
cloister-
skin bag of javelins.
Oh, it is called a quiver.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain quiver applies to any grouping of similar missiles.
Yeah, missile weapon. Any container meant to hold a missile weapon or ammunition. So yeah, he puts it in there and he nods at you guys as you enter. Just as you're entering, a slight breeze pushes through, and you can hear the sound of all the chain links clacking together, and it is the most pain-inducing noise you have ever heard.
Is it the second loudest thing that we've heard this week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is terrifyingly like screeching. You know how like metal on metal is like a crazy noise? Or have you ever cut something with a dull pair of scissors and they have that like noise of metal cutting metal? Imagine that, except with thousands of chain links. for the two machine
Rep-
guys, I assume that would be a noise that's just like, ooh, if I had skin.
Rep Rep is going to sort of turn back to the guard guy that we just interacted with, and he's not going to try to talk over the noise, but he's just going to sort of talk to the guy and say, not to offend, but that sounds like it might need some lubrication.
No, it's built this way on purpose.
What?
He just looks at him and like clacks his teeth together and then closes the door behind you guys as you enter. So you guys enter Karska. Karska is a huge, lively town that's pretty much completely covered in either silk or like some sort of like low thread count cloth that lets the sun come through. You're not really sure where the light's coming from at this point, or if it's an illusion or something, but the sun is definitely shining through this. And the actual floor of this town is quite well illuminated. And you can see a bunch of these sort of strange three-eyed people that all seem to be mutated. They all have the same skull type, but some of them have beaks. Some of them have, instead of having, they have the three eyes. They all have the three eyes. That's like the only thing that they're all conducive together. That's the one feature that they all have. But some of them have two mouths that are stacked on top of each other. Some of them have like gigantic arms and little tiny baby legs. Like every single person in this community is different. And there's one normal looking person that you've seen so far, and he is basically sitting on a pillow, except he's floating about 1.5 feet above it, using like a sort of wind gust to keep himself up. And he actually has wings tucked behind him. And Cyclops sort of walks straight over to that guy, and he says, "Greeting, Wind Whisperer. I am back for the moment, and I would like to introduce you to my companions. They are also from my new home." And the second he says, "Greetings," he sort of steps down from his little platform onto the pillow and then makes his way towards you. And this guy looks completely human except for his wings. And he has two bird wings, except they look to be molting or something, because they have mostly just very tight skin and little I don't even know what those are called, the sheaths that feathers sit in when they're in the skin. I don't remember what those are called, but basically he looks like he's just been plucked or something, like a plucked chicken almost. He sort of walks over and he says, "Ah, greetings."
Hello.
I see
I
that
slightly bow.
he bows back in acceptance. "They call me the Wind Whisperer. How may I help you exactly?"
We are looking for someone. They might be very new to town.
"We do not have newcomers here. Not often enough. And even then they are quickly devoured most of the time." "The fact that you are with the grafter means that you are safe from our trespasses and advances as well. Who can I help you find?"
While he's doing this, I want to try to like just ruffle through my bag, and holding it inside the bag so I can't see it, I pull the compass up so I can do what the compass is doing.
It's spinning in circles. Just like it did when you were near Vizim.
If you don't
have,
mind me,
by chance, what? Do you by chance have someplace private that we can discuss?
Of course. Of course. Come with me to my home. And his wings unfold and he starts flapping, so he's hovering. And you can see him actively shiver. As you guys walk up a set of stairs, made out of like a metal sheet that's been bolted together to go up into the cranial cavity, like one of the larger buildings that's been made into the skull of this giant creature. And you walk in to this building, and it's basically got a wooden door. He unlocks it, goes inside, and he closes the door behind all you guys. And I need all of you to make a perception check, please. Man, Rep is not perceptive to... Oh my gosh.
Stop making me make perception checks. This has happened every single time in the session.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
LMAO said the perception check. LOL.
Luershik and Vidar, the first thing you notice is the smell of leather. It smells of leather in here.
Do you often work with leather materials? Are you a leather worker?
I am a tanner as well as a leather worker. If we go to my workshop, it's quite pungent, but in here I only keep finished products. So
It's safe to assume that you also use flesh as your main
I do. We don't have animals
material.
here. We use the slaves, usually. If they no longer have a purpose, we repurpose them into useful material.
I can appreciate your desire to not waste.
Are any of you hungry?
I do not eat.
Oh, so unlucky.
I was fortunate enough to have some of cousin Bran earlier, and I'm feeling quite held over.
Oh, cousin Bran died. That's unfortunate. That's very unfortunate.
Is he human of nature? Like, is he also human? Or you mentioned that he has wings, but
He's humanoid.
I assume it would be inappropriate to offer you some since you are of human nature.
What do you mean? As long as you don't eat the brain, you don't succumb to madness.
Would you like some bran flakes? And I pull out the bag. While I do that, I hand it to him, and I want to pull the compass out and slide it to Vidar.
Okay, make a sleight of hand check, please. Oh, dang. Yeah. Their perception checks can't... they could roll that. No, they can't. As you're sort of passing it over, and you hand him the thing of bran flakes, and he looks over at Cyclops, he says, I will honor him in this way. And he takes a handful of them and starts chewing on it. This is delicious. Yes.
Rep is going to very stealthily check the divining rod.
Okay, go ahead and make a sleight of hand check. You have a 20. You have a +8 in sleight of hand. What the heck?
Yes, I do.
The divining rod is glowing and vibrating, but not as much as it was when you're near Vajim. So you are close, but still a little bit far.
Technician, you wouldn't by chance still have that the seeing device. I would like to take a look around his leather shop.
To closely inspect his leather wares. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
I hand him the spyglass.
Would you mind showing me your leather shop? I actually I always wear a leather tunic even though it doesn't help me with my scales. But I'd love to see your wares.
Oh, sure.
I extend the spyglass and just kind of like practice looking through it. And while I do that, I first look at Cyclops, and then I pan over to the Wind Whisperer.
The Wind Whisperer, as soon as you does it have a trigger word? It had a trigger word, right?
It does, yes. Philatelist. Or philately?
Nice.
One of those two.
Phlebotomy.
Phlebotomy. It is phlebotomy. Thank you.
Technician insert name here. I always feel like I'm getting a phlebotomy every time I use this thing.
It activates.
I think you might be using that incorrectly.
You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
I put it towards the center of my head.
As soon as you look at him, you look at Cyclop first, and Cyclop has that sort of same wispy energy that comes off of him in the teal color that Kuzma does. It's very, very similar, if not exactly the same. Then you turn over to the Wind Whisperer, and he has literally, like, his hair, like, he has long braided hair that goes all the way down to his, like, back, like, his lower back. And as soon as you look at him, he has, like, these flutters of, like, Avatar: The Last Airbender, the wind powers that he uses. It looks just like that, except an aura around him.
I pan to some leather I assume he just has hanging around on the walls to dry.
Yep. No,
well, this is very interesting.
All this is finished. So this is all like bags and armor and shields and stuff.
Your craftsmanship is admirable, and your tanning work is equally skillful. Technician, would you like to take a closer look? And I hand the spyglass over to the technician.
Yes, and technician is going to have a look at the Wind Whisperer and then at some of the bags.
You see that same wind aura that he has that's like, it's almost like a turmoil or like a whirlwind is like just constantly surrounding him. Yeah, the bags seem normal though. They don't have auras.
I apologize. I was looking for ones with tattoos.
Oh, tattoos. Absolutely. And he sort of brings you over to like this set of oddly shaped like small bags that we all know what they are. If you want to know what they are, they're all a male body part that has been tanned and reinforced. And he just has
male body part.
Yeah.
Tanned and reinforced small bags, coin purses.
Yeah.
Is that what we're saying here? Coin purses.
Coin purses, yeah.
Okay.
And he walks you over to this large cloak that literally has one of the coolest tattoos you've ever seen on it, ever. And it's actually like in like a glass container over like a silhouette mannequin. It's in like a display case.
You're sure you don't mind if I look?
I don't mind at all.
I kind of stupidly use the spyglass to look at the tattoo just directly on through the.
It looks
glass
like a
case.
tattoo if you were to look at it through a spyglass.
While he's doing this, I look over
unfortunately,
to...
too much zoom, and then take that and put it away. And it's so stupid.
I look over to Vidar and say, Fleshrender, this would be beautiful for you to wear.
Vidar's going to just kind of look at it a little bit more closely. No, it is very magnificently made, but I'm not sure that's quite my type.
I only have gold. I am fresh out of bones. I was led to understand bones are your primary economy.
No, we all just like them a lot.
Okay.
Some of us more than others. We're still people.
What
Some of us.
would you be willing to sell this piece?
No.
I understand.
This is my mother.
Your mother had beautiful tattoos. I am sure she was a very classy lady.
You honor her with that, actually. But And he just sort of sits there for a second, and he looks at the door, and at the moment he looks at the door, you hear a clawing at the door. Where is the compass? Who Vidar has the compass, and do you still have the divining rod out or no?
I mean, I've been stealthily checking it, so it's kind of going in and out of
It
the pocket.
is
If that makes
It is hot.
close to the door.
Yeah.
What is that scratching sound?
That would be my daughter.
Your daughter.
Yep. He's just sort of like looking down
Why-
and away.
You seem insight check.
Okay, go ahead. If anyone wants to make an insight check, you can. Sabas, where have these rolls been? And Loershik? Holy crap. Damn, both of y'all are on point. He looks really nervous. Like, not just normal nervous, really nervous. Like, fearful.
You seem uneasy.
Yes, she has a calling. And it's unpleasant to me. Let me get the door for you.
How long
Before-
has she had this calling?
Ever since she was born.
Who is her mother?
Her mother was an amazing human that I met on my initial travel. In our culture, we travel once in our lifetime outside. And I traveled to Artstadt. And I met her and fell in love. And she died in childbirth.
Sorry, I put a hand on his shoulder to try to like calm him down a little bit.
I appreciate
Are you-
you.
Are you familiar with what's happening to magic users currently?
I am.
Are you familiar with the Hodiager?
No, I am not. What is this Hodijäger?
Do you know what? They're a group of mercenaries that the king has called for their heads, more or less, because they are being blamed for the explosion that has destroyed Nilund. But there is conflicting opinions on whether or not they are responsible. Do you have an opinion?
If they come here, they can fight us for our magic people. I will kill them and I will eat them.
Oh, the Hodiager don't want your magic people. In fact, they want them to have their magic.
Okay.
I reach out to Vidar for the compass.
Just gonna slip it right back into your hand. That
I hand the compass to Wind Whisperer.
Okay.
I assume it's spinning like crazy.
It is. It's not spinning. It's pointing right at the door.
You said that your daughter has a calling. Do you know what that calling is?
It's to the bones. That's what they say. Is to the bones. I've never seen someone like her do this. Just as he says that, the door slams open on the inside, and this is what you see. She walks in. There's a token for you. She walks in, and her glowing eyes like pan over everyone in the room. Father, I feel it. Who are they? He just sort of looks at her and he goes, "They are friends of the grafter." And she looks at Cyclops. Greetings. She walks right over to Lorshik, gets really close to you, and a bit of dust flies off of her, swirling in the air around you. And she just looks at you. Where did he go? She's like twitching really badly.
He sacrificed himself.
I'm sorry. What?
I pull out another javelin while she's doing this.
No.
And kind of like two-hand hold it out to her.
No.
What is your name?
They call me Drug.
Drug, would you like to come with us?
I know about you. All of you. The bones say many things about you.
Like what?
You're the king.
Who is?
She is lost. You need yourself to be complete. She's pointing at Rap. You are the key. The mother told me this.
Drug, are you in pain?
Not at all. I feel...
Does he keep you against your will?
Who?
The Wind Whisperer.
No.
Would you like to meet more people like you?
I would.
Would you like to come with us?
Yes, take me to the forge. The mother told me this. I came to find you as soon as you landed.
Do you need some tea? Your voice. Are you okay?
No, I'm fine. And she looks at the bone javelin that you have still in your hand, and she closes her hand, and it reforms itself into a great sword.
You can bend bones.
I am an osteomancer.
Can you do it while the bones are still in a living body?
I can. Would you like to find out?
Cyclop over there, he did that to me earlier today. It didn't feel very good, so I think I'm going to pass, but I do appreciate the offer. Very talented you are.
Thank you. And she takes her hand, and like these giant claws start appearing from her fingertips. And then they suck right back into it. I am a master of bones.
Do you know what you are?
I do.
Drog.
The mother told me everything.
I looked over to Wind Whisperer, and do you know what she is?
I do not. She will not tell me anything. She says I do not need to know. She said that her whole life.
Drog, he is your father. He probably wants to support you and help. It might be best to tell him.
No. If I tell him, he worry. He seems
But he may also be proud.
He seems scared of me, but he still loves me. And he just nods.
Wind Whisperer, would you like to come with us? We intend to help Draug.
If you would like to, if you can help her and she can help you, the less I know, the better, in my opinion.
It may be beneficial for you to come with us as well. We do have a place where Cyclops stays. You can be a great use to us. It seems like you may have some relationship with the wind yourself. Am I correct?
I do, but this community and my people need to be able to defend themselves if what you say is true. Because the majority of us can use magic in the arcane arts. Necromancy is the technical term.
I pull out one of my newfangled magic cards and hand it to Wind Whisperer.
Takes it. Thank you. By the way, my actual name is Rakim.
Well, Rakim, this card will allow you to talk to the right people if you're ever in a situation that you feel stuck or need help.
It sounds great.
If you don't speak Draconic, you'll want to someone to translate it for you.
I know someone who does, surprisingly. We have a powerful ally in the mountains to the east who does happen to speak Draconic. So, don't worry.
Draug, if you will permit us a small recess, we must figure out the fastest way home. We cannot travel instantaneously all the time. We got here quickly, but we will not be able to travel as quickly home. We must figure that out real quick.
Cyclops actually has Kuzma's Yeatstone, so he should be able to just...
Are you sure? Maybe we should review what we can do.
You are correct. We should review.
Okay.
So we're just gonna, Rep-Rap's gonna shuffle everybody over to the side here and turn the volume all the way down.
Accidentally turns up to 11.
Do I need to roll for volume, actually?
Actually,
Fuck me.
high or low?
Low.
Roll it. You know how this works.
Is rolling a 1 the volume that he sets it to, or is rolling a 1 a failure to set the proper volume?
So here's what the roll was for. You got blown up yourself by the grenade. Didn't you take damage? You did take at least one of them, right?
Yeah. Sorry, I thought you were saying the grenade I have in my inventory.
No.
Yeah, I got you.
When you did your barrage,
yep, I got hit.
you got hit, and that was, if you had rolled high enough, your volume knob would be literally when you touched it, it would break, and then whatever you had it set to would be set for that until you physically repaired it, and mending would not work in this case.
Okay, but we're good. We're
But
good.
you're good. The shrapnel missed
my knob. My knob is good. Okay, got it. Rolled for knob.
Detachable penis. Sorry.
Also a thing. So okay. I don't believe we can take her directly back to the forge. She is definitely void Soulforged.
Have you used your thing that you literally have on right now?
The spyglass? I mean, it's going to be super obvious if we do. That's why I haven't. So
We have been looking for a Soulforged in the Karska area since long before Void Soulforged appeared. It is a possibility, and we should check, but also it may not be a fair conclusion to immediately jump to.
that is fair. Should I check with the spyglass?
We should just check.
You should hand the spyglass to Rakim and ask him to describe our outlines, including hers. He doesn't know the difference between good and bad, and
But we just lied to him about the purpose of the spyglass earlier when we said we were using it to inspect his leather goods.
You were.
And she just
that
outed
was
us.
not a lie. That you literally were doing that. You were just looking at stuff.
We embellished the truth.
Yeah.
Um, Rep's just going to do it. He's just going to pull out the spyglass and look directly at Draug.
Okay. The second that you look at Drog, and she sort of turns immediately to you as soon as you pull it out because you're doing like a fairly quick motion. You look at her, and she is not a void. She is a super bright blue aura that has wisps of like purple, like lightning coming from it.
Oh, no, we can definitely help her. Just like talking to the group. She's blue. Here, do you want to check? And it's gonna offer the spyglass to Laura Chick and Vidar, sort of like to the circle.
Savvy sort of shrugs. I trust you. I see no reason not to ring her.
Yes, you were the one in doubt, so if you are convinced, then I'm convinced.
I believe you.
I am convinced.
As you're looking at her, though, I need you to... As she looks at you, would you be willing to fail a wisdom throw on purpose? Because she's not trying to be intrusive. She's trying to technically bestow something upon you. She's casting a spell to do something to you, but do you trust it?
Based on this new information, yes. So if she didn't start until after the spyglass, then yes.
Okay. She sort of weaves, like she pulls out a little set of bones and like goes like this, and they start spinning rapidly. And would each of you succumb to the spell, or are you any of you going to try and resist it?
She's weird, but she is a soul forge. I don't think she'll harm us, so fuck it.
My AC is 20, so fuck it.
The bones, as you're all like sort of looking at her, go phoom, hit you right in the forehead, and then all of you sort of, you know in Marvel when they get hit and the astral projection whoom, like shoots you out of body.
Oh no, my astral form! Get back here, astral form!
All of you sort of feel that, but you're in again familiar territory. The water, thin water on a very smooth surface underneath you. All of you are looking, and Drog is in front of you, standing in front of a hunchbacked old woman sitting on a pillow. Her hair is white, pure white with like purple streaks in it, coming all the way down over her face, and she's dressed in a black robe that is made of cotton, very thin material, and she has a very large gnarled wooden branch as a sort of walking stick or staff that she's sitting like next to, is sort of like leaning on it. And you can tell she's looking at you as you're standing here. What are you doing? Bless you.
This astral plane feels like the Shink astral plane, just to be clear.
No, this is a Soulforger
which
astral
one?
plane.
Got it. So like sister. Twisted Sisters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Are you trusted grandmother?
No, I am no trusting mother. Who do you think I am? I am known as Cursing Mother.
So you're Callum's mom?
No. I am this one's mom. And she sort of taps Drog on the head. Not in the biological sense, of course, but in the spiritual and magical way of talking. You met my daughter and her brother, from what it looks like on your skin.
First brother and trusted sister.
They are the good ones. Ish. They're not my favorite, but you know how it goes with siblings and children. No, the titles are what they are. This is mine. You can trust her. Come. Come here, all of you. By the way, Vidar is like glowing the purple blue of this entire room. It's a different color this time. And she touches each of you on the head. Just taps you. And as each of you look at each other, a giant purple X appears on your forehead.
Cursing Mother, we had heard that you were last seen in Nilhund. We were expecting to find one of the brothers here.
You were? Who told you that exactly?
A trusted sister had told us to look for the brother in Siltime.
We're not in Siltime.
Vidar kind of looks around the room.
If you were to
that is
leave, if
accurate.
you were to leave here, you would drown. You would be dead. I exist forever in a physical place that is not accessible by physical beings anymore. So I made Drog because my people are all dead. Or where you are and where you're from anyway. So I made her, and I told her immediately because I care about her very much, which is why I sent her to find you. And I need you to take care of her, because I know your mission. And I do want to tell you, Void has made his last Soulforged. So be careful.
We had gathered. The sky is falling out there.
I just need you to be careful, okay? Promise me. You will take care of her. She does not need to go to the forge. Send her to the warbands. Take her to Kuzma.
Very well. We will take her to Kuzma.
Oh, and I want you to know, Kuzma is one of my direct descendants. He does not know this, but he is one of my actual children. And I care for him very much.
Should we inform him?
No. He will learn when he goes. Because he will be coming to see me first. All of my children do this.
Cyclop is here with us? Yes.
No.
Having found you does make our mission a lot easier now that we do not need to go to Nilhund, which, as you can imagine, would be difficult. However, we were expecting to find the brother. Are we still to find him in Siltime?
Maybe. I do not know where he is. Unfortunately, after we all got the opinions, we say we can't. And again, behind her is this giant eyelided nail that has a big old tether linking to her, that you saw in all the other Soul Forgers. After we got pinioned, it's been so long for me, and I already had issues with memory. He should be in Siltime somewhere. Along with his Soulforged. Well, his Soulforged might not be there. I don't know how to locate them. It makes me very uncomfortable. But, wait, are you talking about First Brother?
No, we were told that there was another brother in Siltime.
Oh, ooh. You're talking about the friend then?
We were not given names for everyone.
It's because most of us have forgotten each other's names. I know them all. You have the father. You have me. You have the progenitor, the sister, the brother, and the friend. The friend is good. The one you need to watch out for is father.
Are you suggesting that the father is void?
No, father's not void. He just is in a bad place. Physically. And will be the hardest
And he
one
is,
for you to reach.
because he is the closest one to you geographically.
Technically, yes and no. Let's just say the last place you need to go is where he is. If you stay here too long, the water will start leaking in. So you have to go. Time works a bit differently here with me specifically. So I'm letting you know that a full day has passed in the world. So Cyclop is gone. But keep close to my daughter, and she will keep you safe for the next day. Then you can leave.
Where will you send us?
I'll send you right back to the shop. You have been taken care of by the Wind Whisperer. He is a good man. And she just looks at you guys and literally points with a knife hand point. And boom, you're sucked back into your bodies. All of you are short of breath for just a moment as you get pulled back into your bodies and you awaken again. You guys feel exhausted. You can see the sun this time shining through the curtains as the Wind Whisperer sort of stands up. You're back. All of you are back. Are you okay? What happened?
We met your daughter's spiritual mother. And we know what we must do to help her and help all of us.
Good. Well, I have made food for us, and I know that the two of you can eat the same sustenance that I do, but for your own sake, I have found animals and cooked them for you. So for the two serpents, I have beef for you and other vegetables for the rest of it, if you need them. I don't know if you're exclusively carnivores or not, but I have it for you. And he sort of hands both of you plates of like full plates of like ridiculously good looking food. And yeah.
Abbas will chow down, right after saying, "I'll eat whatever. Thank you, though."
I also begin eating. However, Wind Whisperer, please allow me to compensate you for the food.
No, no, you have done so much for me realizing my daughter has purpose, and her demeanor, albeit a little bit unsettling, it turns out to be very good for everyone. So the privilege is mine having you here.
Do you know where the grafter went?
He said he went back to the warbands. He said he had a mission to do there, and he will see you later, is what he said.
I guess we're stuck here for a day or two.
You're more than welcome to stay here. I am going to provide you provisions and anything else that you need. And you are safe here forever. Just letting you know that you always have a place in Karska. Always. And with that, we're going to end this episode of Soulforged. Hope everyone had a good time. Yeah. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the raid earlier. I don't know if you're still here, but thanks for hanging out. Renetic Defect. Appreciate you. Everyone have a great week. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. Do the right thing. And we'll see you next week, hopefully on Tuesday. If we don't do Tuesday, we're going to do party games again. And I'm going to try and make a schedule starting this month of party games every week. And I'm going to start streaming on a regular, just not necessarily D&D stuff, because I like streaming. I like interacting with people. I think it's fun. So hopefully we can get these other guys, you guys, to come play with us sometimes. That'd be fun. Maybe for Snake's sake, I could get Purge and them to play with us sometime. You know? Would you cry? Would you cry if I did that?
Yeah,
Just-
Purge would be pretty cool. I have talked to Tsunami before.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah. He and I talk all the time. Actually, I talked to him
Yeah.
this week.
I mean, he might actually know who I am if he has a good memory. So
There you go. But yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Bye.